Ah, there you are. Everybody's hungry. I guess we'd better make some dinner tonight. Never happens at your house, right? So tonight, I'm dealing with an issue that always haunts me, and that is the issue of being authentic. I'm cooking cuisine from a different culture than my own, and it always just leaves me feeling a little nervous. Yeah, that's one thing I miss now that I'm not so young anymore. Is working, going out for lunch. I usually went out for Chinese food at lunch, and it was a real joy. I don't get to do that anymore. Furthermore, since retiring, early retiring, I've discovered that my Chinese restaurant food was not entirely Chinese food. So, how do I refer to this? Well, a good example would be one I've used before. There was a young Chinese exchange student who was staying with a friend of mine, and he missed Chinese-style chicken soup. And she was just losing her mind trying to figure out how to just do something nice for this guy. And then one day she was tired and she opened up a can of Walmart brand chicken soup, served it to him, and he starts screaming, "Yay, yay, yay, finally Chinese-style chicken soup." Yeah. So every time I worry about being authentic, I think of that story. So, cooking Hunan style, copyright 1973. I'm going to set this down. That book is full of some of the all-time simplest recipes I've ever seen. Basically, it's what my mother would cook, plus soy sauce. So tonight we're making sauteed squash with onions. The onions, as you can see, have a little color. I heated those on a hot burner and fried those up earlier. Oh yeah, hot oil. Now the thing I'm doing now is putting the brown on the squash. I have a green zucchini and a yellow crookneck, as we used to call them, squash. And you'll notice they're cut at weird angles. Okay, that's a little too hot. The reason they're cut at weird angles, watch my back as I attempt to cook, is because it creates more surface area and gives more browning. Sorry about that. And there is no denial that I cook the onions ahead, just on a hot skillet, hamburger style, fried onions, because YouTube has a time limit, very short attention span. So unless I'm willing to do a bikini try-on, which I don't think you want to see, I gotta wrap this up soon so you won't get too bored with some old guy cooking dinner. Okay, squash, onions. Now, the recipe in the Hunan cookbook was just cook up the squash like I'm doing now, throw in the onions and a little soy sauce, and you got dinner. But because, I have all this love of Chinese food, or Chinese restaurant food, we're going to do it a little differently. First, I got some leftover steak that I cooked up the other night. I threw in a little soy sauce, a little cornstarch, and we're going to put a brown on that, since Mrs. Chef likes her steak so raw, or so rare, that it may as well be raw. I got some garlic, a couple of cloves I mashed up, stirred in a little olive oil, a little ginger. I got the soy, of course. And because I like sweet, I'm going to throw in a little mirin. And just to keep things from sticking too badly, I got some chicken stock. Oh, chicken stock. Yippee. So yeah, I'll be cooking that over some, or I'll be serving that over some rice here. Okay. Good. You will notice that in the event I ever get this stuff to face down properly, I'm not stirring it too much. I want browning on the face of the squash. So yeah, la 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 la, cook, cook, cook. There are times when cooking is just the most exciting thing on earth. Waiting for rice to cook, squash to brown. Oh my heavens. Yeah, it's been a little fun around here. That's one of the reasons why it's been so long since I made a show. Yeah, believe it or not, I cook dinner every night. And it's always simple, it's always basic, and it's always something you can do at home. You know, I try to avoid the extra equipment and all of that stuff. Okay, let me see if I can show you this. Where are my cones? Tongs. Okay, here we go. Oh, that carpal tunnel is killing me. And the fact that squash is oddly shaped. You might be able to see some browning on that, I hope. Okay, so I got brown squash, well, browned edge squash. I got onions that were cooked over high heat until they have just a little color on them. Throw that in there. And because I'm using pre-cooked steak from the other night, again, marinated in a little soy and cornstarch. Here we go. A lot of, oh, that's a mess. A lot of Chinese recipes that I see on YouTube, Chinese restaurant recipes, call for you to make a sauce. Well, we kind of just did. A lot of beef fat, soy, cornstarch. Somehow I gotta wash my hands after that. Yeah. So, there we go. Yeah, dinner. It's so exciting. Why don't I throw in some very raw garlic and start that cooking up? And I just ran that through a garlic press, mixed in a little olive oil. Because you want strong flavors from the garlic in an Asian style dish. How much garlic? As much as you want. It's your dish. In this case, I'm using half an onion, one yellow squash, one zucchini, about half a pound of steak. All right. Let's throw in some ginger. And yeah, I cheat and use ginger from a tube because it's just darn easy. And I'm going to use too much ginger, or at least what most people would consider too much ginger. Use the amount you think you need and then add about half of that. Oh my heavens, it's getting fragrant in here. A little bit of mirin. How much mirin? Again, it's up to you. Taste it and figure it out. A little extra soy. If you can get dark soy, you might want to play with that a little. Taste it. Ooh, I'm going to have to refill this bottle. Yeah, I refill bottles. Now, one thing I'm doing, because I like hot stuff, is putting in some chili peppers, which I was surprised to find the other day at the market. Yeah, regular supermarket. If you can't find them, just use crushed red pepper flakes. It's a standard issue ingredient. Oh my. Now this smells like one of my favorite restaurants. Okay. Because the squash was cut in a little larger pieces, I'm actually going to add some chicken stock and saute it a little bit. Just a little moisture to soften the squash and make sure it comes out okay. Oh, that smells wonderful. It's a little watery and needs to cook down, which is fine. And we'll leave as much of this in one layer as we can to put it brown on anything that's left. Turn that up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's it. Semi-authentic Hunan-style squash with onions, soy. Oh yeah, and I threw in some meat. So this is social media. Please be good social citizens and subscribe, like, and all of that good stuff. And if you're curious about the rice, I just got a rice cooker over here. Find a find an Asian market, buy yourself a rice cooker. Nothing else, they tell you when they're done. So that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.